Hi everybody, Amy from the Wood County District Public Library Children's Place. We are going to do a yoga story time today. We have Miss Allie who reads stories for us. She's going to read our script. And we have Miss Chelsea from the Bowling Green Parks and Rec District and the Essence Mind Body Studio in Maumee. Hi Chelsea.
Hi, I'm here in my yoga room sharing this time with you. And I just wanted you to notice that I have a bunny cage right here for a rabbit. And there's a rabbit in this story. And there is a real rabbit in this room. We don't know where he is right now, but he might appear in the story. And we're also going to do rabbit pose. So you can hope to see the rabbit while we're doing rabbit pose. That would be kind of magical. Anyway, I will hand it back to you, Amy, to do the story.
Thanks, Chelsea. We're really happy to have you with us as our yoga expert. Chelsea helped us to figure out how to do this yoga story time, so we're really thankful to her. Now, since our summer reading program at the library was fairy tales, we did Goldilocks and the Three Bears as a yoga story time last time, which you can find on Facebook and our website online and on YouTube. You can watch that. But today we'll do Little Red Riding Hood. That's why there's a bunny in the story. Little Red goes into the forest. And I just wanted to remind you guys that yoga, if you're not familiar, is a kind of exercise, a little bit. It's a practice that works your muscles, and it makes you think about what your body is doing and how you're breathing. So it's really good for keeping in shape and exercising your mind, but also reading. Reading exercises your mind. Your brain is a muscle. And when you're reading, you're thinking and you're imagining and you're working and you're learning. So a yoga story time is going to be using our body and our mind to work out, to get stronger and to learn. And we're going to tell a story. So in yoga, sometimes the way your body is shaped kind of sounds like or looks like things in real life. So we're going to create this story through yoga. I hope you join us. I hope you like this. And here is Little Red Riding Hood.
Once upon a time, a little girl laid in bed sleeping. She got up and had a big stretch and yawn. Looking outside, she said, "Good morning, sun." She took a big, deep breath and stretched side to side. As she put her red hooded cape around her shoulders, she shrugged them up and down and admired herself. She was called Little Red Riding Hood because of this cape, which she wore all the time. Little Red Riding Hood marched down the stairs to breakfast. As she sat at the table, her mother brought her a big, delicious bowl of porridge. She stirred one way, and then the other, and she was so full and happy, she patted her head and rubbed her tummy at the same time. Her mother then told Little Red that she would be taking some food to Grandma's house because Grandma wasn't feeling well. Little Red began to pack up a picnic basket with juice and bread and also fruit and tea. She closed the basket and went over to her mother. Mother looked into Little Red's face as she reminded her to stay on the path to Grandma's and to not talk to strangers along the way. The girl nodded her head she would stay on the path and shook her head. No, she would not talk to strangers. Then she gave her mother a big hug, set out onto the path through the woods. In the woods, Little Red Riding Hood met all sorts of lovely animals. The birds tweeted songs from their nests high in the trees. All around her, she noticed the beautiful colored wings of butterflies, glittering and fluttering in the breeze. And Little Red met a worried-looking rabbit. He said to her, "Be careful today, dear. There are some scary animals in the woods today." With that, the rabbit hopped away through the trees. Little Red Riding Hood continued up the path. The trees were getting bigger and the forest seemed darker. She couldn't wait to get to Grandma's house. She also hadn't noticed that someone had been following her. It was a big, bad wolf. He had been very quiet and sneaky, though she hadn't heard or seen him. He lifted his nose to the air and could smell all the yummy food in her basket. Then the wolf's tummy started to growl. Little Red turned to see where the noise came from, but the wolf froze like a statue, hoping she wouldn't notice him. He continued to follow her, tiptoeing behind her, then freezing when she turned to look back. Tiptoe, freeze. Tiptoe, freeze. But the wolf was too hungry to keep sneaking around like that. She put on a friendly smile and walked right over to the little girl. She was frightened at first, but he seemed so kind and friendly. She didn't see the danger. Little Red explained to the wolf that she was taking some food to her grandma's house. The clever wolf thought of a plan and suggested that she pick some flowers from the grassy clearing for her grandma. Little Red thought this was a great idea. As she picked, the wolf ran ahead on the path to find Grandma's house before Little Red did. The wolf got to the house. He went inside, saw that Grandma was in her bed. Without waking her, he carried Grandma to the closet and locked her inside asleep. The wolf found some of Grandma's clothes and put them on, got into her bed, and blew out the candle to make it dark. Arriving at Grandma's house, Little Red Riding Hood opened the door and went. Thought she could see Grandma lying in her bed. The wolf, who was pretending to be Grandma, said, "Hello, dear." Little Red said, "Grandma, you don't sound good. What a deep voice you have." "All the better to say hello," said the wolf. As Little Red got closer to the bed, whispered, "Grandma, what big eyes you have!" "All the better to see you, my dear." Then Little Red noticed her grandma's skin. wondered about them and said, "Grandma, what big hands you have." The wolf whispered, "Oh, all the better to hug you with." Coming even closer to the wolf, Little Red said wonderingly, "Grandma, what big teeth you have." "All the better to eat you with." At that, the wolf, dressed as Grandma, jumped out of the bed and chased the girl around the room. Just at that time, a woodcutter, delivering wood to the real Grandma. He had been out chopping wood all day. As he came into the house, he saw a big, bad wolf chasing a little girl. But as soon as the wolf spotted the woodcutter's sharp axe, he shrieked and ran out the open door, never to be seen in that part of the woods again. Little Red Riding Hood opened the closet door to let Grandma out. They were so thankful to be safe. They hugged and hugged. They were also thankful to the woodcutter, and they invited him to enjoy their picnic of tea, fruit, toast. Grandma began to feel better right away, and Little Red Riding Hood had definitely learned a lesson about talking to strangers. Now let's take a deep breath and rest for a few moments to feel safe after that exciting story. We learned that we shouldn't talk to strangers, and that if we go somewhere, we need to tell someone know where we're going, how we're getting there, and when we'll arrive. This is taking care of ourselves and staying safe. This story won't happen in real life, but in our yoga stories, we feel all sorts of things. Sometimes scared, sometimes happy, or brave. It's good to feel these things, especially when we know we are safe. This is the way we learn to understand our feelings, so that when they pop up, we can better know what's happening and that it's all right.
Thank you so much, Allie. And thank you so much, Chelsea. We love that you were able to join us. I hope you all had fun with your yoga story time. Feel free to watch this one and Goldilocks as much as you want, and maybe make up your own yoga story time. Hope to see you next time. Bye.